Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hey girlies! Today's video is going to be a chit chat, get ready with me. I love to just sit here and do my makeup and just vent, just talk to you guys, so that is what we're doing today. So whether you need to grab your tea, grab your snack, spark your blunt, whatever it is, girl, or boy, get ready because you're gonna be sitting here for a while watching me blab. I hope you enjoy. So I asked you guys on Instagram to leave me some questions. Obviously we're gonna be getting into things that have been happening on my channel recently. I'm sure you guys have noticed that video I just posted about a week and a half ago. We're gonna talk about that a little bit too as well, but overall just a bunch of different things. But before we get started with this video, I'm gonna give a big shout out for Honey for actually sponsoring us today. Y'all know we all shop online, especially right now. We're all stuck at home, so it's so easy to just go on there and just add things to your cart. But once you get to the checkout, you know that little promo section that taunts you because you know there's a coupon code out there somewhere. Well, Honey is actually a free extension that you add to your browser and they get the coupons for you. You don't have to worry about searching anymore. They do all the work for you. So imagine you're shopping on your favorite website. I'm gonna actually show you guys an example with Sephora of how I was able to save over $20. So you put all of your items in the cart, you go to the checkout, and the Honey button will actually drop down. All you have to do is click apply coupons and it'll start searching all over the internet to find it for you. Honey is no joke, y'all. They have found over 17 million customers, over $2 billion in coupons, y'all. They are no joke. You should definitely go and check them out. They are a free browser. It is so easy. I'm gonna actually show you guys how to download it to your computer right now. It takes you only a few seconds. All you have to do is go to joinhoney.com/Nessa and you guys will be able to download it for free. Like I said, it only takes a few seconds, and not only will you be doing yourself a solid saving money, you'll also be supporting my channel. Remember, joinhoney.com/Nessa and go get your savings. Okay, y'all, my hair is pinned back. It is time to start beating this face. I have nowhere to go because I'm not one of those influencers that's going to a party and not listening to the rules. That pisses me off. Like, why is everybody doing these birthday parties? Lorraine, I'm talking to you. You literally tweeted a few months ago saying, why the fuck are all these influencers going to parties? And then you threw one. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, all these influencers going to parties, living life like nothing has changed. Shit has changed. People are dying. I don't care if you think the shit is fake. Like, just stop going out. Just stay home. There are enough shows on Netflix to entertain you, okay? Like, there's really enough. Like, do a Zoom party. I don't know. But it's actually very annoying to see these influencers that have very large platforms are acting like it's a joke. And I don't care if it's like, oh, it's just for one night. Like, but the thing is, the mindset with a lot of these influencers is like, they just don't care. Like, realistically, they know that they're gonna get backlash, but they're like, whatever, the party's gonna be worth the backlash. That is their mindset. So, like, realistically, nobody fucking cares. This coronavirus thing is a thing. I'm not saying I don't care because I'm home. Obviously, I've been very vocal about not, you know, doing all that in social distancing and like only going to the store if you know you need to. Like, you have the youngest viewers as well. Like, a lot of these people are TikTok people, so like they have very young demographic, and if these kids see you not taking it seriously, they're not going to take it seriously either. So like, lead by example. You're a grown-ass adult. And I'm not talking to Lorraine. I just mean like everybody. Like, you guys are grown-ass adults. Like, you know what you should do and you know the responsibility that you hold. But it seems like no one cares. The people that are like out here partying are the same people that were going on Twitter saying like, you guys, like, stay home, like, this is serious. Like, stop being a hypocrite. Don't do a hypocrite. And when it comes to people's like safety and health, I don't play that shit. So regardless if it is true or not, stay your fucking ass at home. Like, you guys party every night. You are partying or going to a club or attending something almost every night. You guys have had enough social interaction to fill up the entire world. So if you really want to act like, oh my god, I just can't stay home, like I just have to go, are you serious? I know I'm going to the dispensary, but I'm only picking up. That's it. That's the only time I leave my house, to go to the dispensary. So that's my thoughts on that. Because actually some people were asking like, what's your opinion on like these influencers like going out and partying? So I answered that one first. Shout out to my foundation for matching today. I want to give a shout out to who's a Mill Icky ass bitch? Dyslexia. I don't have dyslexia. Suddenly I do. But y'all, like, not sponsored, not sent to me, like, dead ass, go and try these. Like, these are actually such good products and they last all day. A couple people are actually asking me if I'm still friends with Denzel. Like, 3 people actually like in a row asked me. Me and Denzel are cool. Obviously, like, I live in Arizona, he lives in LA, he's always between LA and New York, and he's a very busy person. So, you know, after, you know, moving out, of the city and not being in that environment, things change. People aren't as close anymore because it's such a fast life out there that like if you step away and you literally come back a month later, it's like you missed a year. So just, you know, stepping away definitely affected the friendship, but we still, you know, talk to each other maybe every couple of weeks, maybe every couple of months. We'll just, you know, randomly check up on each other. What morning practices do you do that puts you in a good mood? That's actually such a good question. I don't really have any morning practices. In the past, I used to meditate in the morning almost every single morning. I would go in the bathtub, fill it up with, you know, like some warm water, throw in a Lush bath bomb or a bubble bar, and just sit there and just meditate for like a good like hour. Like I could sit in there and sit in the bathtub, I kid you not, for like 6 hours. I don't know why, I'm a fish, I think. But that's probably like one of my like routines that I used to do a lot. I would always take a bath in the morning because that would just like relax me. Somebody asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And underneath someone said, where do you see yourself in 1 year? So 1 year from now, I see myself in my new home. I know a lot of people are like, Vanessa, you move around a lot, and that is very, very true. I do move around a lot. I've moved how many times, you guys? Let's sit here and calculate. When I moved out, my first apartment, then I moved into a rental house, and then I moved to LA. So then my first LA apartment, my second LA apartment, me moving back to Arizona, my townhouse, and then this house. So I have moved 7 times since I was 18 years. Wait, that's it. I did not just say The powder I just put on is the Milani Even Touch Powder Foundation. I don't even know if they sell this anymore. I've had this for like 5 years and my nasty ass hasn't thrown it away. But it also doesn't break me out, so that's why I haven't thrown it away. I'm sorry if I just disgusted like 30 of you. And then my go-to bronzer is the Dior Skin Mineral Nude in Bronze. I think, oh no, it's in the color 06. Dior put me on their PR list for like 2 months, and then they took me right the fuck back off. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if I said or did something. But they put me on and they said, psych. Just realistically, like, I'm not gonna go and spend like $80 on a bronzer. That doesn't sound reasonable to me when ColourPop exists. But a year from now, I see myself in my new home, having a pool and not having rocks in my backyard anymore. In 5 years, I hope to be 100% with myself. Because I mean, like, I'm almost gonna be 30 at that point, and I know that being 30, you're still gonna experience insecurities. I'm sure a lot of you are probably older and watch my videos and always roll your eyes when I say something like that, like, oh my god, I'm getting so old, or na. Like, I just hope that, like, you know, I'm so mature at 30, but like realistically, you are still growing up in your 30s. Like, it's still a process. So like, I know it's still gonna be like a learning process, and it's not gonna be, you know, any different. Like, I'll definitely have more, you know, wisdom, more years to me, so some growth, some lessons, but like, is it really gonna be that big of a difference? Like, am I really gonna be like a whole new bitch? But in terms of like being 100% with myself, like, I'm referring to like confidence, self-esteem, all of that. Palette that I'm using is the ColourPop Bye Bye Birdie palette. It looks like this. It has a lot of like purple tones in it. My usual everyday go-to has been this Huda? I don't know how to pronounce her name. This Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions palette. I grabbed this from like the little mini, or not the mini, but like the middle section where they have like all the mini stuff at Sephora. This was like only like 20 something dollars, and I'm so happy I got it. We're gonna be using both of these palettes today, just kind of like transitioning between colors for that. How are things going with your breast implants? Are you still going to get them removed? I actually just went to the doctor 2 days ago and finalized everything. I had my pre-op, had to pay for all of it. My surgery is on August 28th, and I am so freaking excited. You guys have no idea. Originally, they were projecting that I wouldn't be able to get them removed until like October, and the amount of stress that has put on me, just knowing that like I have to keep waking up every single day feeling sick because of something that I decided to do to myself, has been definitely weighing on my mental a lot. And I know I shouldn't be too hard on myself because I was doing something to, you know, feel better about myself, to fix something, but that's not how it's gone. It's definitely been more of a negative a negative experience for me, you know, blaming myself for putting myself in this position, financially, health-wise, all of that. But It is what it is, right? Also, I want to go ahead and throw out there, because in my video I said, or not in my video, but I believe I said it in the pinned comment, that we need to learn to love ourselves a little harder. And I want to apologize for wording it that way, because I feel like it wasn't worded properly. When I said that, I didn't mean like, oh, anybody that gets surgery doesn't love themselves. What I was saying is that we should, you know, learn to accept our bodies the way they are naturally more before we decide to make those kinds of decisions. Obviously, like, if it is an insecurity that is killing you inside, then like, okay, of course. But like, I don't know, I feel like I could have definitely just avoided it if I would have just accepted that my body's not perfect and it's just gonna be that way for the rest of my life. Like, that's what I meant to say. Like, I really wish I would have just learned to accept that flaw. Because there were like a couple people that were there saying like, oh, Vanessa, but like, I'm trans, like I need to get my breasts done to feel more comfortable in my body, and like, and I totally understand that. So I wasn't trying to, you know, come across that way at all. I do understand that everybody's situation is different, but sometimes it's just not necessary. So that's what I was trying to say. Like, I just don't want anybody to go through what I did. Like, that's the only thing I was trying to say. Like, I just don't want anybody to go through like the pain and the mental and just everything that I've had to deal with, because it definitely has not been a fun time. And I feel like a lot of people watch my video and they're still like considering it, and they're like just taking everything I say with like a grain of salt. I obviously knew about breast implant illness before I decided to get my procedure, but I thought, oh, that just happened to this person, like it's not gonna happen to me, and here I am experiencing it. So that's my whole point. Okay, we're gonna get into this question now. How do you feel about Tana not responding after claiming she will? Okay. So, Colin made his video, right? Colin Brady, he made his video, and she went on, you know, Twitter saying like, oh, I'm so sorry that I made you feel this way. I want to talk to you and actually like have a conversation about this. So then she proceeded to DM him and then say like, oh my god, like educate me, like I just blah 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 blah, saying all this stuff, and he responds to her. She never got back to him. So basically that little apology, that little thing that she posted on Twitter was just for show. She didn't actually ever get back to him. She didn't actually ever, you know, try to fix things. Now my situation, have I heard from her? Nope, I haven't heard shit. She hasn't said anything to my face, but in the background I've actually heard that she was telling multiple people that like me and Colin are lying and we're trying to, you know, just like ruin her and ruin things. Basically the way that I got treated with like the whole trash channel situation, it's happening again. She's still in the background calling me a liar. She's still in the background saying all these, you know, things about me, which is very, very unfortunate. So I mean, I got my message out, I got my word out, I said how I felt, and it's my truth. Regardless, like, it's my truth, it's what happened, and if I'm still a liar in her eyes, like, I don't know what to say. Like, realistically, I don't know what to say. But I saw her post something on her story the other day saying, like, we don't fucking care. And obviously that was about the COVID thing, which she was doing that with Erica Costell, and that just made me like feel some sort of way. But like, if she doesn't care about something so serious that's actually affecting the world, what does that say to me? That she probably doesn't give a damn about, you know, this other situation, which is also actively affecting, you know, a group of people. It's just very disappointing to see stuff like that. That's all I can say. It's just very, very disappointing. And the thing is, even if she did issue an apology, I wouldn't believe it. Like, there's just so much that she has said and so much that she has done to prove that she does not give a fuck about walking on people throughout life. Like, she literally did a lie detector test and they asked her, do you think that you can manipulate anyone around you? And she said yes. Well, I don't know, that's a whole situation. Like I said, she hasn't said anything back to me yet. The hell is that? I think I just saw a bird beat another bird's ass, because I just saw feathers, bitch. If your boyfriend doesn't put in the same effort as you, should you leave the relationship? Yes and no. Because if you know, you're putting all this effort in and you just notice that they're not putting as much in, don't just break up with them immediately. Talk to them about it and actually tell them like, hey, you're not, you know, you're not putting as much as I am, and I feel like you don't really care or appreciate this relationship as much as I do, or value it the same that I do. So like, things need to change, and there's nothing wrong with being open with people, because this is your partner. This is what I need people to realize, what pisses me off that people don't want to talk to their partners about certain things. Like, this is your partner. You're not dating somebody because you want to break up. You're dating somebody because you're interested in them and you want to see where things go. Maybe it'll lead to a more serious relationship and possibly marriage and all of that. And if you can't be open and honest with communication with that person, why would you want to spend the rest of your life with them? Why would you even consider putting yourself in that position? Why would you consider even just wasting your time? Because I know, like, I'm not trying to say jump to marriage or anything, but like, why would you even waste your time? Because if you told them this and like a year later they're still on the same bullshit, and like a year later they're still on the same bullshit, like, why get stuck in that? And I feel like so many women and men get stuck in those relationships because they're afraid to say something to their partner, which, like I said, is so confusing because, like, that's your partner. That's the person you're supposed to trust the most, right? So what I'm trying to say is have that conversation with him and tell him that you feel like you're putting in more and you're, you know, valuing the relationship more than he does, and you feel like he's not putting it on the same pedestal as you, and see what he says. If he tells you, like, oh, I feel like I'm doing enough, then express to him why you feel that way. Like, don't just be like, well, you're just not doing enough. Like, what is it? Is he, you know, not spending time with you? Is it this? Is it that? Like, you have to really sit there and like have these conversations, because we don't have time for that unhealthy shit. How do you handle people making up lies about you? That is a good question. I do and I don't. Like, it's hard, but it's also, it's easier to just be like, oh, like, I'm just gonna, you know, ignore the comments. I'm just gonna ignore what people say. But like, when it's something that's just completely out of your character and you're like, no, like, that's actually not me. Like, that's some shit I would never do. That's when it really starts to, you know, get to you and it really hurts. Because then it's like, oh, hell no, I don't want people thinking that, like, that's my character, because, like, that's just not me at all. So how do I handle it? I really don't know how I handle it. Like, people ask me that all the time. They're like, Vanessa, how have you not just shut down your account? How have you not just quit? And it's because I put too much time and too much effort and too much love and too much just everything to let a couple of people shut me down. Because although, yes, I was getting thousands, if not tens of thousands of messages from people telling me to kill myself and telling me that I'm just this garbage and blah, 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 blah. Yes, I'm getting all those messages, but none of them hurt enough to shut me down, if that makes, like, I don't know. Like, none of them hurt enough for them to take away something that means so fucking much to me. Like, it's not gonna happen. So people could keep making up their lies. They could keep saying that I'm this, that I'm that, I'm this shitty person, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, I'm not going anywhere. So you can keep talking. You could keep complaining. You keep saying what you want to say, but like, I'm not going anywhere. Why do you dye your hair instead of wearing a wig? I don't wear a wig because they are super uncomfortable. They make me feel like I am wearing a baseball helmet and I can't take it off. I'm sick of ripping out my edges. I'm sick and tired of just all of it. Like, wigs are just not my thing anymore. Like, I wore wigs because I was bald. I wore wigs because, you know, I didn't want to damage my hair, but now I'm at the point where I really just don't care anymore. If anything, I would, if I were to use another wig, I'd probably do like a Upart wig with like leave out, just so I could, you know, look more natural. And I could also, you know, be able to sweat. Every time I have ever gotten a weave or have gotten a wig installed, I have always taken it off within a few days because it's so uncomfortable. So to those ladies out there, like at the hair shop, they'd be like, yeah, girl, my wig stays on for 2 weeks. I leave it on for 3 weeks. How? Like, how do you guys do that? Like, I can't keep it on for more than like 2 or 3 days without wanting to actually like rip my scalp off. Why my back hurt this bad? Girl, because we're getting old. What's something you wish you knew before moving out? Do you wish you went to college? I did go to college and I dropped out. That is nothing to laugh over. That is nothing to be proud about, because I feel like a lot of influencers are like, ah, I dropped out of school. Ah! No, bitch. Like, you failed. No, like, we failed, bitch. Like, realistically, like, we fucking flopped. Like, girl, you can go to fucking college and do YouTube at the same time. Like, don't act like you're fucking, Good Mythical Morning where you have to go on set every single day. Make haul videos in your bedroom. You can go to school. And that is one of the things that I actually regret. Like, I should have just stayed and at least got my associates, because then I could, you know, always go back and then just get my bachelor's. I do have things to fall back on, like business-wise and like investment-wise and stuff, but like realistically, I should have just finished. Because keep in mind, if I would have just done the 4 years, I would have been done 2 years ago. However, school is not for everybody. Some people want to be entrepreneurs. Some people want to start businesses. Like, and I totally get that. And then do it, bitch. But I do think it's foolish to think that school is stupid. I do think it is foolish that influencers are acting like it's so cool to like drop out of school. Like, it's not. I feel like influencers dropping out of school kind of makes other people think like, oh, there's something wrong with going to school, or like, oh, like I'm not doing enough, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, if you're going to school, you're fucking dumb, just start a YouTube channel. Like, it's not that easy. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. So when people have like, and it's usually influencers that have that mindset because like they're already in that position, so they feel like they have room to talk. I am really just spilling it today. Like, this is the new Nessa that you guys are getting, and if you think that I'm rude, I'm not. I'm just a very, very honest person. Like, so many people think they're above it. Like, there's a lot of influencers that actually think they're above a jaw. Oh, sweetie. The guy that I actually dated, I remember him telling me, like, to my face, he's like, I'm too good for a 9 to 5. And I was like, wow, we need to break up. Like, what do you mean? Because if everything crashes down, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get a 9 to 5. Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with wanting to support yourself? So many people think that like there's something wrong with that when like millions of people do that. That's another thing that I hate that influencers do. They talk down on what most of the population is doing. I'm actually waiting until my roots get to about like right here, so it's not a waste of money. And then I'm gonna have them professionally bleach it, and then I'm gonna dye it myself. Look how well the color has stayed. And I washed my hair with warm water. I'm so surprised. Are you planning on starting another clothing company? I'm actually working on the Nessa shop right now, so stay tuned for that, you guys. The Nessa shop is going to have the cutest, most fire shit. That will probably drop, I don't know. Because I want to really like do my research and make sure all the products that I'm selling to you guys are like the best fucking quality. So like maybe I'll do that as like a New Year's thing. Like the Nessa shop is open on like the 1st. So that is something that I'm actually working on right now. I got to do all the filing, all the business stuff, the LLCs, all that shit. So that is the current move. What's your full and honest opinion on teenage drug use? Weed, alcohol, etc. I'm 16, by the way. That's also a really good question. What is my opinion on teen drug use? I definitely don't want to encourage people to, you know, be smoking weed and doing stuff and drinking and all that at a young age. So every time I do film those types of videos, I always, you know, add some sort of little disclaimer. So my opinion on that is very complicated because I myself started smoking weed when the first time was when I think I was 15 or 16. And then I smoked maybe once or twice when I was like 17. But once I turned 18 is when I started to smoke almost every day. Of course, I've taken breaks in between here and there. I don't drink alcohol. That has never been a thing for me. I'm just not that person. I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel good. Even as a teenager, I was never interested in drinking alcohol just because I've heard way too many people make mistakes while they're drunk and just get themselves in situations that were not the best, and I just knew that that was something I didn't want to deal with, you know? So aside from the whole conversation of it not being moral and it not being appropriate because you're a child, like, we're gonna step away from that right now because that's the obvious. But you don't realize your brain is not fully formed yet at 15, 16 years old. It is not developed fully. So if you start taking these substances and start drinking and start doing things that alter the chemicals in your brain, your brain's not going to fully develop the way that it should. So that's why I definitely do not encourage people participating in that kind of stuff at a young age because, like, realistically, your body is not, like, no. Guys call me complicated when all I ask for is attention and consistency. Ugh, help. And there is nothing wrong with it, what you are doing, girl. There is nothing complicated about wanting attention. There is nothing complicated about wanting somebody to keep it real and keep it consistent with you and not switch up. There's nothing wrong with that. But those guys that you're talking to are little fucking boys, and you're gonna walk away from them right now, okay, girl? Because a grown-ass man is not going to take advantage of you wanting to spend time, of you wanting to have attention, because if somebody is interested in you, they're gonna give you back that 100%. Don't compromise. That's all I have to say. Do not compromise, because there's only one of you. There is nobody else just like you, baby girl. Nowhere in this world. So realize your worth and don't allow that shit to happen. And I need to remember that too sometimes, to be honest. Next hair color. I'm actually doing purple next. I'm so excited! I'm probably gonna keep the pink for like another month, maybe. Yeah, I'll probably keep it for another month and then try to fade it as much as I can and then strip it and then try to do a vibrant purple. I'm so excited. I've always wanted to have electric purple hair. I've had purple hair, but I haven't had like electric purple. So I'm so excited to see how that looks. Are you still close to people that you were close to before you got a following? Yes and no. Everybody that I was friends with in high school, like, let me actually like sit back and look. And I want you guys to comment back. Like, if you're out of high school and it's been a few years, are you still friends with people that you went to high school with? Because let's be honest right now. And I'm not talking about like, oh, you keep up with each other, like actually friends. Let's see, who are my best friends in high school? No, I am not close to any of those people anymore. We do check on each other every couple of months just to be like, I hope you're okay, I hope you're doing well, you know, little updates on our life. But realistically, when I moved out of state, everybody stayed, you know, back here, and they were going to college and they all started their own relationships, situations, and just things changed. It was actually quite easy for me to leave just because me and my best friend had a falling out, and that was the one person that I really like cared about. And the reason we had a falling out is because the guy that she had a crush on in high school, who wasn't even interested in her, and that's not even on some like petty shit, just realistically, he wasn't even interested in her. He was interested in this other girl who he was like in and out of a relationship with, and they followed each other on Instagram, and I guess she thought that like he liked her, I don't know, but basically he followed me on Instagram and I followed him back, and she saw that and she cut me off. 5 years of friendship cut me off over that, saying like, oh, you're being so annoying. She cut me off over a boy, but literally 2 years later came out saying that like, oh, I'm actually a lesbian, I've never been interested in guys. So I was like, then bitch, why'd you cut me off? I didn't do anything. That was strange, but I mean, like, I don't know. It could have been something else going on, but it was easy for me to leave. I'm trying to decide if I should do anything else, because this is basically where I stop, and I'm pretty happy with how she came out. I also don't do my brows. That's the one thing I never touch. I know I have literally the world's shittiest brows. I don't keep up with them. I had a unibrow the other day, and y'all, I just went all the like old hair just went on my That's where we stopped the video. If you guys are interested in joining Honey, make sure you go to joinhoney.com/Nessa. It's free. Thank you, Honey, for sponsoring us today. I'm so excited to dye my hair though, because y'all, these roots are giving me very Gwen Stefani 2001, but like it was a look back then. Not now. But that's it. I want to answer much more questions, so I think I'm gonna go live after this video goes up just to like talk to you guys a little bit more. And yeah, so go follow me on go follow me on Instagram at simplynessa15, so you guys will be notified when I go live, so we could chat, because I've been going live like once or twice a week now. So pop up, sure to tap in, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.